He said if you take the job, you give your word, and that word's the measure of a man.
Not like this.
It's a shame that these days some movies can only be watched on one platform. It used to be that that platform was the silver screen, but today it could be a streaming service that hardly anyone watches like Apple TV. But when I saw the trailer for Wolves go on YouTube, I got excited. Two main leads that I know have chemistry in a movie that takes inspiration, and the name of course, from a Tarantino movie. But is it any good? Let's find out. I'm Meffistoe. Like, share, and subscribe because this is my review of the movie Wolves.
Let's see your technique.
I'm not going to show you my technique.
Because you don't have a technique.
No,
No? Then why?
because you'll steal it.
First of all, let's talk about direction. Jon Watts, known for his work on Tom Holland's Spider-Man trilogy, brings his signature style of humor and tension to Wolves. While this film is a departure from your superhero genre, it still carries a bit of that balance between laughter and intensity, as we've seen this on his previous work. This time, Watts combines a character-driven narrative with suspense and a little bit of dark humor, coupled with a lot of tight, well-paced action. And I'm happy to say that Watts did not disappoint.
I'm going to help you out.
I can do it.
Really?
Yeah, really.
So do it.
Maybe I don't want you to see how I do it.
Whatever you say.
Now on to the co-stars, the main event, Brad Pitt and George Clooney. These two are quite frankly a dream team for any movie, just as long as you let them ad-lib a little bit. They've shared the screen before in Ocean's 11, 12, and 13, and here they have a chemistry that is just undeniable. But it's not just their charm. Both actors give nuanced performances that really dig deep into their own character development. Pitt plays a more reserved, enigmatic figure, while Clooney brings a bit more swagger to the role, with a sense of vulnerability. Hey, he is a little bit older now, but you can tell that these guys know how to work off each other, and they both elevate this movie in a big way. There are some genuinely great moments of banter between the two, which definitely reminds you of Ocean's days, but there's also a lot of weight in their scenes that you don't always expect from a movie that looks like it could be a fun action flick. These two actors really take their roles to a place that I really didn't see coming.
You need to be careful. Both of you need to be. There are people out there. They saw you two together.
You said it was exclusive.
Okay, let's get into the story without spoiling anything. But I will say that Wolves is not exactly what you've been expecting based on those trailers. Clooney's character, which is unnamed, gets called after his client Margaret is facing a dead body in a room. Clooney's character is a fixer, a person that comes in time of need with no questions asked and takes care of the problem. The plot thickens when another fixer shows up, and that would be Nick, Brad Pitt's character.
I'm here to take care of your problem. Who's he?
I called him.
And the two begin a whirlwind night to discover what the hell is going on and who the hell put them in that particular position, and of course, why.
The only course of action is for you both to work together to clean up this absolute fucking clusterfuck of a mess.
I will begin by saying that while Wolves has its thrilling moments, there are parts of the film that feel a little bit slower than expected. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a little bit of a tonal shift that some might not expect. It's not your wall-to-wall action movie. The film takes its time to unfold the layers of the mystery surrounding its central plot. For some, it might feel like it's a slow burn, but I think it pays off at the end, and it's completely worth it.
I never did catch your name.
Tell you what, we survived this?
Deal.
The atmosphere in Wolves is one of the film's strongest elements. There are constant sense of unease, there's something lurking beneath the surface, and the film leans into that vibe. And it also leans heavily on dialogue between the two main characters, as they try to save face and be cool and nonchalant while trying to up each other every single time, which in some ways reminds you of Ocean's 11, and in other ways, and don't be weird about this, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, just with two guys and no sexual tension. Maybe.
Let's go to your place. I'm not going to my place.
Why not?
That's the point of having a place.
Exactly.
As for the action, there's enough to keep you engaged. While it's not a non-stop thrill ride, when it does kick in, it's intense. Jon Watts is great at staging these action scenes that feel grounded and visceral. And you can tell that he's not relying on over-the-top spectacles, it's just gritty and realistic and impactful when the tension finally breaks. But when everything slows down, a lot of viewers would have issues with the pacing. Some viewers might find it a little bit inconsistent, especially if you're coming to this expecting your more traditional action-oriented flick. It is a slower film in most spots, but I think the character work completely makes up for it. If you're a fan of character-driven movies with moments of tension and introspection, you'll probably get a lot out of this film. And if you're in for wall-to-wall action, well, sadly, it's not that kind of a movie. So to wrap up, I will recommend you try and catch this if you can. Wolves is a great film, though it might catch some viewers off guard. But like I mentioned before, it's not your action-packed blockbuster that you might expect from a team-up of Pitt and Clooney. Instead, it's a nuanced, dialogue-based, atmospheric thriller that balances out mystery, character depth, and just enough tension to keep you hooked. The chemistry between Pitt and Clooney is fantastic, the direction is solid, and the story is, well, the story is fun. So if you're looking for something that is not just your fast-paced, mindless action film, Wolves might be the perfect movie for you. And yes, I've said Wolves many times. It is Wolves with F, and there's a reason for it.
The professional, the lone wolf.
I thank you for watching, and remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.